In this video, 22-year-old Rachel was recently discharged from an eating disorders unit. For the first month, she adhered to the meal support plan. However, her mum is becoming increasingly concerned that for the last week, she's noticed signs of both denial and restrictive behaviours. Mum has taken responsibility for sitting with her daughter throughout the meals. The following is a typical evening meal.
Just one baked potato, Mum. I'm not really that hungry. You know, I'd much rather just have plain chicken. Why put all that mozzarella inside it? And, you know, I just don't see the point in putting ham around it either. What's so wrong with just having a plain piece of chicken? Why dress it up? I've heard you banging on about your less is more motto. You don't really seem to be living by that now, do you?
Less is more, yeah, right. Not with you, my lady. I'm cooking stuffed chicken because I don't want to eat a bland piece of chicken breast with potato. And we're also having a sauce. It's high time we started to eat like normal people do. You know what you have to do, Rachel. I'm getting rather worried about these high anxiety levels over dinner. I saw you hiding that huge piece of quiche under your salad the other evening when Jules came to dinner. I didn't say anything at the time, for fear of causing a scene with visitors. But I'm really worried that we're going backwards.
Mum, you're always worried about something or other. I hate cream sauce. I just don't like the taste, and I never have done. I told you before I didn't want any sauce.
There's just a dribble on it, Rachel. You're going to land up back in hospital if you're not careful. Is that what your plan of action is? I just couldn't take that again. All that travelling really took it out of me. It's affecting my own mental health.
Well, excuse me. 2 points here, Mother. The first being that I will most definitely not be going back to hospital. And 2, it's not really about you, is it? I've been trying so hard to stick to this bloody meal plan or whatever they call it. And you're telling me that you can't cope? Well, poor you. Try having to deal with this bloody illness yourself. Then you'd know what it was like not to be able to cope.
Let's not make this any harder than it already is. You need to eat it all. That's where the calories are. That's what's going to keep you out of the hospital.
I can't eat the cheese, and I can't eat the sauce. Sorry.
Please, Rachel. Please. For me.
Mum, you know I would if I could. I hate being like this and making your life a misery. But please understand, I just cannot eat all of what you've given me. I'll do my best.
Well, that's the problem. Your best isn't good enough. You're definitely losing weight. I can see it for myself. What were you on Tuesday when you went to the clinic? You see, that's the problem. I'm kept out of the scenario. I'm expected to make sure you're eating, but you keep me out, the clinic keeps me out, Teresa, your new therapist, keeps me out. No information, nothing. All these expectations of me, and I have no idea how to deal with you.
My best's never good enough. Anyway, I'm telling you, I haven't lost weight.
I can see it for myself. I can also see what you've eaten, or more to the point, what you've not been eating. I can't see how you can go on like this and not become really ill again. You must see it for yourself, Rachel. You simply must. Now, come on, just eat the chicken at least. You can leave the vegetables and the potatoes, but that way, at least you get some protein and calories inside you.
I'll try and eat half, but no more. I look down and I just see zillions of calories staring back at me. It makes me feel sick to even look at my plate. If I eat it all, I just couldn't keep it down. I know I couldn't.
But that, as I've said, just isn't good enough. You need to eat the whole damn lot and keep it in you.
And that attitude, Mother, just makes matters worse. What little hunger I brought to the table has evaporated since I sat down. I will not eat the whole lot. I can't. Put it in the fridge, I'll eat it later.
The aims for recovery are to normalise behaviour around food and to help anxiety to fall after each challenge. This involves making the right-sized goals and anticipating obstacles. Time spent visualising how and what you'll say is invaluable. In this version, Mum uses the skills of patience and persistence alongside the warmth and loyalty of a St Bernard and the wisdom of a dolphin, nudging and encouraging. She tries to keep the focus on the big picture of pleasant times and positive possibilities for the future rather than getting caught up in detail. She remains calm even when provoked, as she knows that her own frustration will stoke anxiety and make it all the more difficult to eat. Mum sidesteps conflict and yet remains authoritative about the need to eat.
Just one baked potato. I'm not really that hungry. You know, I'd much rather just have plain chicken. Why put all that mozzarella inside it? And you know, I just don't see the point in putting ham round it either. What's so wrong with just having a plain piece of chicken? Why dress it up? I've heard you banging on about your less is more motto. You don't really seem to be living by that now, do you? So proud of you. So strong. Good girl. Stand up to the enemy.
Aha, less is more. You've got a good memory. But not in this context. We both know that, however difficult it may seem at times, right? Now, the reason I decided not to serve plain chicken was because of a conversation we had last week at the clinic, and then again later, afterwards, just you and I. You said when you were discharged that one of the things you were most proud of was being able to eat what you described as normal food in the unit. That you no longer had to eat the safe food dictated by your anorexia. This used to be one of your favourites before your illness. We haven't had it for a while, so that's why I decided to cook it tonight.
Normal food? That was when you were weaker. You were up against an army back then. You're stronger now. We're stronger now. I'll stick by you. I'm your only friend, remember? Mum, you're always worried about something or other.
Let's just say I'm on your side. You've got plans for the future, hopes and dreams. I know it's difficult. I know the anorexia will continue to play tricks with a constant nagging and chattering in your ear. And I know you have to find the strength to quieten the anorexic voice. Well, I'm here as your support in helping you silence her. Now, have you read that book I lent you last week?
I'm your only plans for the future. Stand up to her, Rachel. Together we cannot be silenced. We will not be silenced, Rachel. She's trying to trick you, Rachel. Concentrate on the calories, Rachel. That's the only way forward.
Mum reminds Rachel of her past resolve, however, acknowledges the difficulty of change. She opens the conversation to non-ED talk and separates the ED from the person. Mum plants the seed that she has confidence in Rachel.
I hate cream sauce. I just don't like the taste and I never have done. I told you before I didn't want any sauce. Good girl, Rachel. You'll wake up twice the size tomorrow if you eat what she's given you.
I don't want to have a conversation with the anorexia, Rachel. I trust you, my daughter, not your illness. And you, my daughter, knows what you have to do if you want to get back to university in October. Now, that's still 5 months away, so we've plenty of time. But there's no time to go back. I know it's difficult, and that's why it's teamwork. I rely on you, Rachel, to let me know the best ways to support you through your meals.
No, Rachel, no. That's not what we've got planned. You're weakening. Don't let her manipulate you into thinking any different.
So what about that book? It's good, isn't it? Ruth was telling me she's seen the movie and it's not nearly as good as the book.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've seen the film too. Julia Roberts plays the girl. I'd love to go to Bali. Maybe I will one day. Rachel, you're weakening. That's not good. Be strong.
Travelling is so energising and exciting, isn't it? I'd love to go to Bali too. It's such an amazing island. Well, I'm so proud that you can think of doing something so adventurous. I'll be really envious.
I'm not there yet. A lot of water under the bridge, as Dad would say. Got this to sort out first. You can't sort me out, Rachel. I'll be with you always. Together, we make a team, you and I.
I will support you always. I want you back, not the AN. Yeah, I think it's really commendable that you're thinking of those goals. It's good to remember that these are the goals you're shooting for, the bigger picture, my darling. I know adhering to these meal plans must feel like something like an uphill struggle at times, but keep that travel vision in your mind. That's healthy behaviour. Silence your minx. She won't like it, but I trust you that you are stronger.
I cannot be silenced. We're not separate, Rachel. We're one. You and I together for always.
Mum is consistent with her refusal to engage in ED talk. She continues to affirm Rachel, not the ED, and keeps on reminding her of her long-term plans and goals.
It is tough. I look down and I just see zillions of monsters staring up at me. It makes me feel sick to even look at it. If I ate it all, I just couldn't keep it down. I know I couldn't.
We'll deal with that feeling when it comes. You're doing tremendously well. I've noticed you've been struggling these past few days. I was intending to speak to you about it, to see whether there are any tactics we could use that could help to ease your distress over dinner. Turning on the television or listening to some music? What do you think?
I'm not sure.
Well, whatever we do, it's an experiment, and if one thing doesn't work, we just try something else. Perhaps we could go for a walk when we finished our meal, or watch the television. Well, actually, a walk could solve two problems at the same time. I mean, you know how I like my 2 for 1. We could do some goal setting and action planning, and perhaps it will ease that sick feeling you're anticipating. So what do you know about Bali, then? Do you know anybody who's been?
Not really. It just looks cool. Mum, I'm almost done with this. I feel like such a pig now. You are a pig. Disgusted. Oh, you're so weak. Listen to me, Rachel. I'll make you stronger. She's not your friend. I'm your friend. Your only friend.
That's just the anorexia chattering away in your ear. So what's so cool? All right, no, the weather's fantastic and tropical and all that, but where would you stay? Well, perhaps while you're finishing off that last bit of chicken and potato, perhaps you could talk me through your trip. I love to hear about faraway lands. I wish I'd done a bit more backpacking when I was your age. Perhaps I was nervous and anxious then, too. All these challenges and chances life has in store for us. Going back to university in October and all your dreams. I always knew you were strong in overcoming your obstacles. That's my girl.
Mum continues to focus on the eating, praising Rachel's efforts and intentions. She comes up with some experiments and maintains hope while sharing her own limiting personality traits.